If I gave a fuck what y'all think I would be doing this? Welcome to the FMFU podcast, the podcast that's from me, for us. Vulgar but true, real and never fake. I'm your host, Reese, and I've got a lot of shit on my mind today, so let's get into it. So in football news, my beloved Cleveland Browns have officially traded Myles Garrett to the LA Rams, and in return, they have received Jared Verse, a 2027 first-round pick, and other additional draft picks and assets. I saw online, a lot of my fellow Ohioans were very upset about Cleveland letting Myles go, which can be understandable. However, as good as a player he is a defensive end, and while tying the sack record is amazing, that shit didn't equal to us getting any wins for real. Bottom line, a football team is going to only go as far as a QB takes them. And as well as Andrew Berry has drafted, the one piece we have yet to see him hit on the draft or even in a trade is the QB. I'm rooting for Shador, but between him and Deshaun, I'm not holding my breath this football season. So we'll see how things shake out. End of the day, if the Browns don't do shit, at least I got Ohio State. But anyways, happy Friday, people, and welcome to an all-new exciting episode of the From Me For Us podcast. I was sitting here the other day thinking, and probably because of the course of something I was being asked to do, but one thing that I've come to the conclusion is that everyone on this planet is a fucking addict. Like, we're all legit addicted to something, whether it's attention, self-absorption, video games, work, cigarettes, parlays, or pussy. Everyone has some type of vice. The one addiction to me that is very extreme outside of like crack cocaine is y'all coffee drinking motherfuckers. I'm convinced that the coffee dependents might be some of the worst people to ever exist. I truly mean that shit. Like, the only reason the coffee people aren't deemed as being the worst is because the addiction is so much deemed as the norm. The marketing system has really created y'all as pawns. So, like, I've never been a person that really needs coffee all the time. I'm not going to say I don't have it here and there. If someone says, oh, I'm getting a coffee, one, yeah, whatever. Get me whatever you're getting. I don't really care. I'm like, just, drinking something to drink it. But y'all niggas be tripping. I mean, first off, like, you needed to do anything. I mean, as soon as you wake up or begin work, I need my coffee. Before you get on a road trip, I need my coffee. Before cleaning the house, I need my coffee. Then the thing about it is, for like a lot or maybe even most of y'all, I mean, the coffee does more damage just like the crack does. It yellows your teeth. You have headaches if you don't drink it when you need it. And honestly, it probably gives you the shits at times. And half of y'all, half the time, probably don't even drink the full cup either. It's probably like usually like 3/4 of the way get drunk or half of it, and then it's just sitting around the house and it's leaving coffee rings on the fucking dining room tables or some shit. Like, it's just wasteful. And it's not really cost efficient because you're paying for it every day. Unless you get like the cheap shit at work, and a lot of y'all aren't because you're working at the crib. And even if you had the machines at the house or getting the cheap shit at work, it's going to be a waste of money because you might spend all this money on this Keurig or this whatever for the crib, but 9 times out of 10, you ain't going to use it like that because your ass still going to be running to Dunkin' or Starbucks claiming that it's just not as good as Dunkin' or Starbucks. Worst people on earth in real life addicts. So the other day I was watching this movie, and the premise of the movie was there was this husband and his wife. And I don't know the plot for real because I was like half paying attention, but the husband was offered by a tech billionaire $2 million to spend 2 days with his wife. There were no terms laid out that the tech billionaire explicitly wanted to or needed to have sex with her, but more so it was just to spend time with her for $2 million. The caveat in all of this is that the husband had just recently been let go of his job. It's been about 3 weeks. The mortgage was behind, and the people was about to come take the house because he couldn't pay the mortgage. So ultimately, because of this caveat, the couple decides to do it. Now, towards the end of this cheesy, off-brand looking movie, the husband ends up crashing out because he asked the wife, like, did y'all have sex? She does that dumbass shit y'all women do when y'all don't really want to answer a direct question. Like the shit where like you try to spin it around and either do like the avoidance shit when the question is so direct that like there's no way out. So eventually she says like, no, you're insecure. But then after he calls her a liar, she says yes because that's what you want to hear, which is like typical shit a bitch would say that like when she's a liar, right? But ultimately in this movie, like Buddy gets drunk. He tells his friend, who his friend is a bitch ass nigga, and he leaks the information to the news because, of course, everybody knows this billionaire guy. But he leaks the information to the movie equivalent of TMZ for cash because his ass was let go from the same job as the husband. So, because the friend leaks this, the wife, she gets fired from her job because the news comes out. And then the $2 million is revoked because they technically signed an NDA with the tech billionaire that said any spoken word of this agreement means automatic revocation of said funds. So my question for all of the fellas is, would you let your woman go hang out with another dude for 2 days for $2 million? There's two thoughts I have when this comes to mind. Well, actually three thoughts. The first thought I have is that, well, one, I just hope that I will never be in this predicament that I would be losing my house to even have to think about this or anything else. The second thought is, do you truly think your woman is solid enough to be around another random billionaire dude for 2 days? Like, let's even think about this context. Do you think your woman is solid enough to be around her celebrity crush who's not a billionaire for 2 days? I feel like in this scenario in real life, most women would probably say no with a badass excuse of something like, well, you was quick to whore me out. I figured why not? Or something like, maybe the dude convinced me to do it within those 2 days. Bitch, you gonna fuck a nigga while you married in only 2 days? Which leads me to my third thought is that if she's so susceptible to fucking this random nigga and unable to accomplish this scheme without opening her legs, then her ass was probably a thought and a whore to begin with. Who makes excuses and goes back and blames the man for a decision you made to open your legs with this random nigga? You ain't gotta sleep in the bed with the nigga. There can be stipulations to have y'all sleep in different rooms or something. Like if your whore temptation is that heavy, right? So like, basically you saying any nigga who's under the same roof as you for more than 1 day, you gotta fuck? Or is it because this nigga happens to be a billionaire? Because I doubt you would do this with a $30,000 a year nigga. Like, do bitches not know how to run a scheme anymore? Like, not even a scheme to come up just on some money, but an agreement looking to survive and not be put in the fucking streets. Do you want to be in the streets, bitch? Clearly, this whore didn't want to be in the streets, but she decided that she was going to upgrade herself because at the end of the movie, you realize his now ex-wife who left his ass because he's now insecure because she fucked a billionaire nigga and they lost the $2 million. She ended up ultimately being with the dude that she ended up fucking to get the 2 M's that the husband lost. So the husband, the dude, he fucked up for sure. He shouldn't have told his mans about it on his drunken binge. 100% blame on him for that specific action. But however, instead of blaming the man for the real root cause of you fucking the billionaire nigga, you gotta blame yourself for fucking the billionaire nigga. And also, like, thinking about it on this POV, they about to lose the house. Bitch, what the fuck is your funds at to help pay the mortgage when a nigga in the jam? And that's like the one thing that like when those who like don't pay mortgages or rents or like any of like the big boy bills, they never really seem to understand that like when shit gets real, like in the words of Franklin Saint,
if you got some constructive ideas to help me get through this shit, then I promise you I'm listening, I promise. But if not, then please keep your heads down, keep your mouth shut, and let me get us out of this like I got us out of every other motherfucking thing out.
I feel like that a lot.
It's the FMFU podcast, bitch.
So last weekend, the Roots picnic kicked off in Philly, and as dope as the festival looked, you already know who's going to be the talk of the internet. Your boy, the one and only big homie, God MC, Jigga Man, Hova, H to the Izzo, Iceberg Slim, William H. Hoffa, GOAT, Beyonce husband, whatever you want to call him at this point. So I know the buzz on the internet is all about the disses and the freestyle and things, but I want to pause on that freestyle for a second and really talk about the performance itself. So no, I didn't go because I couldn't do Roots Picnic in Yankee Stadium. But I did find like nice clean footage on YouTube from someone who was there. And I mean, this footage was clean. Like, I don't know if dude had like a DJI tripod or something, but like he had something to keep it still. Or if he was really holding this, he was really fucking calm because like there was no shaking on his footage at all. Like, couldn't have been me if it was my phone. I would have been all over the motherfucking place trying to video and throw my hands around and shit. But after watching that video, all I gotta say is that shit got me ready for July. I can't fucking wait. Like, I liked how like State Property got on stage. You know, my man's Freeway and Beans. You know, they performed one of the most underrated songs that people don't think about, You, Me, Him, Her, off of The Dynasty with Bleak hitting the stage. And I tried telling y'all, like, I don't know why niggas act like Bleak can't rap. Like, I know the joke when they was beefing with the Dipset with J.R. Ryder and shit, but like, I'll put 5 Bleak songs up to 5 J.R. Ryder songs and they will be better, I promise you. But Young Guns popped out, had to. I mean, it was Philly, of course. I mean, The Rock was basically Philly at one point in time. Like, it just felt like an amazing show. But like, outside of the people who joined, like when we talk about performances, production, or anything that makes a great show, I don't think people realize how much of an art it is to not only perform, but also be able to produce and rehearse ahead of time and things like that. Like, the one thing I've always heard in the music industry is that like Dr. Dre is like real particular. Like, he'll fine tune something like down to the millisecond so it can just hit just right. Total different avenue, but I feel the same way when it comes to producing my own content. It's not that magnitude, of course, where I'm this like musical genius that can take sample beats and make beats and shit like that. But there's times when you putting this together and I'm throwing in little sound effects and shit, and I don't really just toss the shit in. Like, that shit to me, it'd be certain times I wanted to hit for certain words. It's just got to make sense. It's going to make things pop a bit better. But it kind of is like that meme that's been going around where it's got the dude on his phone and it's like making my music on Instagram line up just right, even though I'm the only person who cares about it is me. I mean, legit, that's what you do in these programs. It's the same thing. But like, when I think about it as being a creative, even on to that level, you pay attention to the details of not just the performance of just somebody being up there just rapping, because most of the time that's all people look at is just your guy up there rapping. But when it comes to performances and putting it on production, rehearsal, live, nobody does this shit better. Dude uses no background vocals. When you rap with the background vocals, I call it rap concert karaoke, because I mean, if you're letting the vocals play the whole time, you're just rapping over them. That's not a performance to me if you need the stuff in the background. That's fucking karaoke. So no background vocals, live band, and no music being played over the speakers. Like, it's just so underrated to go to a concert and hear a live band, especially when they're playing songs like big rap hit songs of a magnitude like that. Probably one of the most amazing things you ever witnessed. I remember back in the day, I saw Lil Wayne perform in Cincinnati. And this was back in the hot off the presses Carter 4 days. And a lot of people were saying how he only used a live band at that time. And you can just hear the difference between the performance, the execution, and it even creates more opportunities to have a conversation with the crowd and bring them along this ride with you, which is something that was great about that performance as well. I can literally say that everybody has their own preference and favorite artists. Some people like people because of the hype. Some people just say people are the best because everybody says they're the best. But I can equivalently say that ain't nobody better than Sean Corey Carter ever at this rapping thing ever. There's never been nobody better. The music is too timeless. Probably one of the only people that can do something like he's doing with the Roots Picnic headline and the Yankee Stadium joints. And honestly, if I was him, probably go on tour just for the fuck of it. Like, you don't got to because you're worth almost 3 Bs, but shit like this gotta be fun for him. It's probably been fun for a very long time. But at this point, I mean, it's gotta be like past fun. Like, I don't know what you call past fun to be like living like this, still doing it to this level of your old hits and still selling out everything. Listen, sometimes you got it or you don't.
You either born with this shit or you ain't. You can grow to be a great rapper, make good songs and whatever, but some people, they just born with it. And this dude was born for this shit. And I think that the writing has always just been on the wall based on all the stories of everything. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one that can rap about certain shit that you rap about because nobody else has a lot of the things that you have. So getting into the freestyle without really doing a deep dissecting thing that everybody's been doing for weeks. I mean, let's think about it from a production perspective, right? You really got to think about this as like someone who he doesn't write for the songs he makes, right? Like legit, the songs are essentially concocted in the brain and freestyled if you want to look at it that way. But there's also somebody who really isn't on the internet like that, at least doesn't actively participate on the internet. But there's been a lot of shit being said and you know for years, and I'm sure you know word travels easily. And also, let's even think about this in context. The Drake album just released what, like 3 weeks ago? So to have like a lot of these responses to all these folks and pretty much say, like, in a nutshell, like, none of y'all can't fuck with me and there's nothing you can say to me. Like, I mean, really, you can't say you rap better than me. You can't say you have more money than me. You can't say I ain't never been a street nigga. You can't say your beach is better than mine. What can you really say to me? I mean, and that's the kind of mindset I would have. Like, there's nothing you can say. So realistically, in that brain, I really don't like to respond much because at this point, it is kind of like punching down on the rest of you niggas. But I mean, production piece aside from like, if we're talking about, because this is a cappella and most people think of just the music and the lights and the stage, but the performative rapping piece part of the production, what I mean during the freestyle, like the Nicki stutter and the kin entendre shit, the make it rain in 40 days line when the NYC concert was 40 days away at the time. Nobody better, man. I don't think there's really a big debate at this point. You know, I had an old head about a month or so ago try to say something about Jock and Biggie or some shit, and I was gonna say something disrespectful, but I didn't. But at the end of the day, ain't nobody better. So whoever went, I know you had a ball. I told my man, shout out to my mans and his wife. I know they was out there. I told him like, bro, if I was you, I wouldn't have a voice. I didn't get to talk. You know, we just did a lot of texting. And, you know, I didn't know if he didn't have one or not. But, you know, I'm also a drunk, ignorant asshole. So, you know, I'm a little different at times. But, you know, I own that, right? We all got our vices. But all I got to say, because I know the internet is beating a dead horse with the dissecting the disses and all that and whatever, my final take is just ain't nobody better than that dude. There's nothing you can really say to him. As much as I've talked so much and bigged up, you know, Drake is being a one-on-one, Drake's not Hove, and I will forever stand on that. It's just right now, I think it's a really good time to be a fan of team music. And I tell you that because I can sit here and enjoy everybody's shit while half of y'all niggas got to pick and choose what you want to listen to because you really taking this beef shit to heart and dying on your shield about some shit over some niggas that you just don't really know. Like, goodness fucking gracious.
Thanks for listening to the FMFU podcast. Follow me on Facebook at FMFU Experience. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at FMFU_experience. Also check me out on Twitch for some Warzone action at ReesePup007. Remember people, life is a series of choices. Just make sure you make the right one. Peace.